Chapter 17. Temple. In my time as keeper of the soul of Estolia, I came to feel a great kinship with Key. One could look back on the historical accounts of the founders and say that, unlike succeeding generations, the role of the keeper of the soul of Estolia was held in part by three remarkable individuals: Key, Sebastian, and Zacharias. My brother, on the other hand, always admired the stoicism of Sebastian, and was determined to name the heir to the throne after him. Xavier Archimedes Zakarian, Capitulo 86. By the time they left the cave, Zacharias was feeling a strong sense of deity. He turned to Sebastian and asked, "What is your impression?" "This cave complex will become a great temple," Sebastian retorted without pausing to think about it. "I am certain of it." Zacharias gestured across the valley. "And that mountain?" "The palace will go there. There the future king of Estolia will live, rule and reign. Here will be the seat of power of the religion." It felt as if Sebastian's proclamation about the cave complex behind them was stated with the overtones of the voice of deity. Zacharias had no doubts left. This cave complex was critical to the religious future of his nation. "Will we relocate?" Key answered him, in his typical silent method. He touched both men, and it was clear what their future held. Sebastian translated, "Key states that it will be difficult to relocate while your wives have children still to bear. Within 5 years, there will be enough Estolians to create 2 settlements. There will be many years, many generations of hard toil before these mountains have realized the promise so potently within them." All three men were solemn and pensive during the journey back to Promisa, each thinking their own thoughts about the visions that were theirs in that holy valley between 2 incredible mountains. When they moved to the valley, Key and Mari chose to live within the Temple Mountain. The small group who relocated discovered that the spacious plateau halfway up the northwestern peak was perfect in many ways. It had only one pathway up to it, which was easy to fence off, and there were multiple entrances leading into a cave complex. They settled easily within them, building smaller structures at the entrance to each cave home. Young Zakarian and Amador were Zacharias' true delight, along with their 3 sisters, Miriam, Talitha, and Sapphira. Zakarian declared when they arrived in the valley that the entire region was to be named Amador after his brother. Amador, for his part, challenged his brother after that declaration. "And what will we call the 2 mountains?" Zakarian said simply, "They shall be named after mother and father." Amador got that look that Zacharias felt was indicative of a connection to deity his oldest son did not possess. His second son turned to look at the mountain with the temple. "That is Mount Estoliana, and like a mother holds her child, the larger is embracing the smaller." His eyes met his father's, and he turned to look at the less impressive mountain and said, "And that is Mount Zacharias." "This then," piped up Miriam, their oldest sister, "must be the Zakarian Plateau." She was indicating the place where they established their home. Estoliana looked down at her daughter with a pleased smile. "Will we name anything after you, Talitha, or Sapphira?" "Perhaps the next 3 settlements will be named after us," Miriam said. She was, Zacharias thought, her mother in miniature. Zakarian was the one to respond to his sister. "It makes perfect sense to name places after the 3 of you." Later that night, Estoliana sang one of the songs that was translated from its original verses in Anoxian to Estolian. When Sapphira fell asleep, Estoliana gracefully got to her feet and joined Zacharias, seated at a low table. She took the mayberry blossom tea he proffered her, and then sighed in contentment as she sipped the fragrant brew. "It is incredible," she said to him quietly. "To think how far we have come in so short a time. How How could I have known, on the day I climbed aboard the Ankamoon, that I would know such joy? He looked at her beautiful face in the firelight, studying each feature briefly before responding, I thank deity every single day for pushing you to stow away on the Ankamoon. I would die without you now. I do not think I would have ever lived if I never met and rescued you. You are my everything. The Promise of Zacharias was written by Sashina Kurfman and read by Ken Moss. Music was by Kevin MacLeod, Shady Dave, and Sora Music. Sound effects were by Free Sound. The Tales of Estolia audiobooks are produced by Maverick Productions.